Our protagonist is sitting next to a Kutsuriko. She's always late to school, never pays attention in class, and the main character decides to not get involved with her. Except she uses his room as a chill spot. One day she just kind of forced herself in, and now she goes to his house almost every day. She forces the protagonist to buy her things, and she practices Dagestan UFC moves on him. This man might be living in hell. He fears that someone might pull up and put the beats on him if he tries to stand his ground. Rika goes to sleep, on his own bed by the way, and now our protagonist is feeling conflicted. The next day our protagonist went out to go get juice, and she found our boy's stash of hentai that he hid under his bed. She promises not to tell unless he doesn't start beating his meat to the hentai on his TV. Okay, how do you expect him to focus if you're putting him in a headlock? You're cutting off circulation. Since he likes big, giant mommy milkers, Rika whipped her pair out and asked him if it was big. Not gonna lie, you're mid. It's the next day and she is still in his room. Rika then makes a bet with our protagonist. If he can get her off the bed, she'll go home. But that means he'll have to touch her. And if you've seen those wrestling matches between men and women, you already know it's about to go down. The MC is lame and somehow managed to waste the 2 minutes he had to get her off the bed. The next day, Rika is on his bed and she is knocked out. The MC goes to wake her up, but fears that she will yell at him the way she yelled at the teacher when he woke her up. He decided to back off, but the sleeping Rika started caressing his arm. And this man really stayed like that for the entire time she slept. The next day, Rika's on the phone with her friends and asks them if they want to come to her place. Our MC immediately tries to make her reconsider, and Rika assures him that his house is for her personal use only. And then she went to sleep. The next day, Rika is at school, and her friends point out that her camel toe is popping out. She doesn't care that much since, quote, this is how she makes her money. At the crib, our MC is stressing, fearing the consequences of what will happen if he got caught looking at her camel toe. In exchange for Oyama, his name is Oyama by the way, in exchange for Oyama letting her in the crib, she pulled a Bulma and shows him her panties. The next day, Rika actually went home for once. She looked angry and looked a little roughed up. After Rika left, Oyama realized that she forgot her phone. He sees a video she took of herself trying to pet this stray cat. The cat attacked her, and it's why she looks so roughed up. Rika then appears behind Oyama since she forgot her phone. It didn't end well. The next day, Rika is in a bad mood yet again. This time, it's her freezing fingers that are bugging her. Oyama suggests that she goes to a hospital, but she refuses. Oyama wanted to cheer her up, so he went to go get ice cream. Since she can't use her fingers to eat, he had to feed her. Today, her foot is sore since she was running away from the student counselor. She asks Oyama for a massage, but she keeps teasing him when he tries. So he decides to take revenge on her by giving her the ancestral Shaolin back massage technique. Shawty didn't stand a chance, got drool on her face and everything. The next day, Rika came to the crib, but Oyama tried to pretend to be asleep so she would leave him alone. So she starts taking pictures of him to use as blackmail later on in the future. In the end, she still didn't leave. If this was me, Shawty would have been gone in the first chapter. The next day, Rika came. What a surprise. For some reason, she's out here, cheeked up on the Thursday afternoon. Rika then caught Oyama looking and proceeded to put him in a headlock. Oyama got a little too excited, and she caught him bricked up. Even though Rika is this delinquent who's basically squatting in our protagonist's house, she has a fear of cockroaches. Oyama decided to leave her alone with the cockroach. When she found out, she smacked the bitch off of him. Today, Rika asks Oyama if he can help her with this supplementary lesson. Oyama declines. Rika tries to seduce him, but he still doesn't fold. She then says that if she gets expelled, her parents will kick her out and she permanently live here. Oyama immediately folded and started helping her. Today, Oyama had to help his sensei with something and he'll be getting home late. He thinks that if Rika realizes he's not home, then she'll go away. But to his surprise, she's banging on his door like she works for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. She thought that Oyama was ignoring her. They then decided to exchange contact info, so that she can call him next time. Overall, this manga is pretty decent. It's called Please Go Home Akutsu-san. It's a little on the unrealistic side, but it's perfect for all you know love-receiving losers.